Welcome, everyone. You are about to embark on a journey through the universe as you indulge in this extraordinary essence of enlightened, empowered, evolved. Let the show begin in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Just in time. Greetings, everyone. I'm Luke Bryan Smith, and welcome to Enlightened, Empowered, Evolved, where we educate, motivate, and liberate you through enlightening dialogues, empowering music, and evolving content. I know everyone's doing well and everything is unfolding perfectly. I'm excited yet again because my next guest, former family doctor who began her journey in working as a holistic energy medical practitioner, and just a whole lot more has taken place. But without further ado, allow me to introduce to you Melissa Crawford. How are you doing today, Melissa?
Thanks, Luke. I'm doing great. How are
Abs-
you?
Oh, I'm doing fabulous, and I'm so thankful to be here at this present moment. I would just like to say that I am a firm believer that time is one of our most precious assets, and for you to choose to spend even a moment of your time here in the history of your timeline at this present moment with me here on Enlightened, Empowered, Evolved, I just want to extend my sincerest gratitude to you. Thank you for being here at this present moment.
Thank you for inviting me. Happy to be here.
Yes, yes. So give us a little uh, insight and framework around you once being a family doctor and how it transitioned into, holistics and, energy and, a little bit of what I've saw. Just give us a little bit of insight around that, please.
Okay. Sounds good. Well, I think like most people, what I'm doing now as a practitioner is shaped by my own healing journey. And so I started out in medical school. Just I knew from a young age I wanted to help people, and it was going to have to do with health, but I didn't know exactly what that was. I was interested in almost everything that had to do with health. Um, so I got into med school and felt like there was something deeply not aligned with
Right.
me. And in my second year, I just about left medical school to pursue becoming a therapist instead, a
Mm,
counselor,
mm,
um, because I just didn't feel, yeah, there was just something that didn't feel right. But then
okay.
I started learning about integrative medicine, like Dr. Christiane Northrup and other doctors doing really cool alternative type medicine. So I thought, well, I'll just keep my sights for knowing I can keep going with this and just do it differently
Right.
than how I'm trained to do it, which is very pharmaceutical, really drugs and surgery based.
Mm, okay.
So, yeah, so I immersed myself in reading these books written by these integrative doctors. I started going to some conferences just to keep my sights on, how I wanted to do this. So I kept going, did my family medicine residency, um, and had my son, and we both had some significant health issues.
Mm,
Um, to the point where we both could have, it was like life-threatening, potentially disabling
wow.
stuff that we've experienced over the last, he's 11 now, so 11 years ago is when our
Oh,
journey
wow.
started together.
Oh, wow.
Um, and even though I was really open-minded and holistically inclined doctor, I hadn't really had a lot of experience with energy work at that point. I did have some Reiki sessions while I was pregnant, and I was like blown away by how good I felt after. So I had a little bit of an intro into energy work, but grew up in a really conventional household and community.
Right.
Um, yeah, just didn't have a lot of experience with that until he's born, and he's very, very sick. And
Mm,
I'm trying to search for how to help him heal.
mm,
And so I started with like naturopaths and holistic nutritionists and things like that. And I was directed to guided to working with like frequency. So I started with homeopath, and that made a huge difference. And the two of us, everything he did, I did along with him, because I knew for him to heal, I would also have to heal along with him. So it was this parallel healing journey, which, uh, yeah, it was, now looking back on it, it's a beautiful thing. And it was quite a big trauma for me to go through. But
Wow.
he and I definitely had a soul contract together for him to really get me on my path and redirect my career even more than I already was. So yeah, I was doing the homeopathy for both of us. We're both noticing big shifts, but I still felt like there was something else. So I'd also heard about this medical intuitive vibrational water remedy practitioner, and I just couldn't stop thinking about that. And so I listened to my gut on that, and
Wow.
booked in with her. And then we both started to work with her as well. So we're
Mm.
simultaneously getting energy work with her and medical intuitive readings to sort out what's going on in our bodies, and on a holistic level, mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually, and still working with the homeopath, and every month noticing improvements in our health, and quite
Wow.
dramatic. The amazing thing with kids, and this is one of the reasons I love working with kids so much, is they can shift so much quicker than adults can, because
Absolutely.
they don't have
Absolutely.
like so many of those limiting beliefs in their subconscious as we
Right.
do. They're just
Right.
they're
Right.
just
They
not.
haven't, and excuse me for cutting you off. And please
Yeah,
don't lose your train of thought, but I just want to
yeah,
elaborate and highlight that a little bit more. Yes. Uh they're they're softer clay, I'd like to say. We become harder clay, so to
yeah,
speak, when we as we get older and take on all these uh ideas and traumas and ideologies and indoctrination, then it's hard for us to, you know, that's why there's been miracles
mhm,
where if you speak several different languages to a child, you know, they can learn it, you
mhm.
know, and we don't fully tap into that. Yeah, so that's
Yeah.
amazing. So go ahead, Melissa. Please continue.
Yeah, so I saw him shifting really quickly, for the degree of what was going on with him. So I knew we were on the right track, and just kept going with those treatments. And at 1 year of age, he was um, flagged for some kind of neurodevelopmental issues, and by 2, he was completely on track, and um, everything was normalizing, and his physical health had improved significantly. And really, we'd only worked for a couple months taking these water remedies,
Mm,
and at that point, almost a year on the homeopathy. So it was, I witnessed miracles in him. And then so he continued to improve. We continued doing energy work and that kind of thing over the years. And then my health dramatically took a downturn. I had a spine injury and a brain injury, and breast cancer, and
oh, wow.
just like everything happened kind of all at once. And I know it's because I didn't I didn't take the time when I was going through all of that trauma with my son
Mm,
to really process everything that was going on,
mm,
and everything that was going
right.
on with the relationships around me that had shifted a lot because I'd
Right.
gone so alternative. Anyway, so
Right, right. And those
yeah,
shifts, and just to throw this in there real quick, those
yeah,
shifts do occur. And I can attest to that. You know, when you start working on yourself and changing things, yes, your relationships, the dynamics and the people in and out of your life does shift. Go
yeah.
ahead.
Yeah, so I was so sick. I was, taken out of work completely on, just medical leave for a couple years. And in that, trying to heal myself again more deeply, and knew that, even though my son had come so far and he was doing pretty well, I knew, like, okay,
Right,
now it's time to focus, like, mostly on myself. And
right.
so I experienced miracles. Within 3 weeks of taking water remedies and doing energy work and working on the emotional pieces and limiting beliefs in my mind and everything, these lumps were gone.
Wow.
So was like, okay, this stuff works. And I was
Right.
thinking to myself, how can I go back to being a family doctor where this kind of work isn't welcome? Like the Canadian medical system, I would say, has a little less freedom within it in terms of how you practice than some places in the States, from what I can see.
Mhm.
It's
Right.
kind of more, there's a bit more authoritarianism.
Right. Right. No, I
Um,
get it. I totally get what you're saying.
yeah, so I knew, okay, I have to start training in these modalities because this is amazing. Like, prescribing medications and cutting things out just like was not as satisfying as what I could see being on the other side, being an energy medicine practitioner, could bring like that kind of satisfaction of really like transforming people's lives. So
Mm.
I started
Wow.
with, some Reiki, training in Reiki, and then theta healing, and then got into red infrared light therapy and ionic detox foot baths, and learning about how to detox gently and safely and easily. Took some yoga teacher training. Um, and then dove into more like medical intuitive training and the vibrational water remedies
Wow.
that had saved our lives and transformed our lives in the years previous. Finally, I got to do that training. Started it a couple years ago
Mm.
with the mentor who we had worked with all of those years for both of us. So it was really exciting to get to be able to start to learn the modality that had, I would say, made the biggest difference.
Oh, wow.
Theta healing and these waters were like the game changers for our lives. So it was a 2-year training. I just completed it in December, and now I'm able to work with these water remedies for people and find the matching vibration that can transmute the vibration of whatever's creating either, disease in the body or even um, mental, emotional, spiritual
Mm.
imbalances. So
Wow.
so
Wow.
that's what I'm looking at, is like matching vibrations, finding what's the vibration of the disease in the person's life or body or mind or emotions, um and what's the frequency that will come in and transmute that, and also using the theta healing techniques to look at, what limiting beliefs are creating this issue and what emotions are stuck in the body. And I just see it all as this like energetic package
Right.
in the body of toxins and often different infections and emotions, and that's creating like dense energy, and that's all attached to what's going on in the subconscious mind. So when I'm working with clients, I'm looking to dismantle that package, that energy on the physical, mental, emotional, spiritual levels, to hopefully completely clear it and
Mm.
clear these energy blocks so people can have the health that they're looking for and just the joy and abundance, and um, just live the juiciest life possible, is kind of what I'm excited to help people with. Because I would say up until a few years ago, I was living like in this struggle and this
Mm.
place of suffering
Right.
um, most of my life. And so when I started to really, really deeply know that I can I can create my reality,
Mm.
and I can do that by healing all these parts of me that, are holding trauma and holding
Right.
unprocessed emotions and changing the beliefs in my subconscious mind. I just knew that I needed to help people do that as well and change their life around. So I'm super passionate about what I do because it's completely changed my life, and I'm so grateful
Wow.
to have found this. And yeah, so that's what I'm doing these days. And both my son and I are super healthy now. Of course, like most people,
Congratulations.
we have, little things that we're working on every now and then,
Absolutely.
but we're enjoying our life now, which, you
Wow.
know, 5 to 10 years ago, I never ever would have imagined. I thought he might live a life of disability.
Right.
Um, I thought I might be in a wheelchair.
Mm,
It's just like I'm on the other side now, and just really feeling grateful about that and grateful to help other people work through their shadows and move out of that suffering and struggle, whether
wow.
it's relationships or physical health or mental health, just I'm happy to look at all of it and
Mm,
see how people guide people. I'm really passionate about helping people just believe they can heal themselves
right.
and be empowered.
Right.
Um, because that's the only place you can really heal from, I
Right.
believe. If we always feel like someone else has to do something to us, we're
Right.
just still stuck in that uh, the kind of medical model. And there is a need for medicine,
Right.
modern medicine.
Right.
I'm not against it. And there needs to be some changes in the
Right.
way Western medicine is going.
Right.
But
Right.
um, yeah, but I'm just really wanting to bring hope to people that there is other ways to heal that really looks at the whole of you and empowers you to take your life into your own hands. Because a lot of people just feel really disempowered
Right.
um, in
Right.
life in
Right.
general. And I think just these last 4 years with all the COVID times, it kind of like triggered that in a lot of people. It's sort of like you either stayed stuck in feeling disempowered or you moved through any part of you that still feels like a victim from
Right.
childhood or anything like that and transcended that and moved into empowerment. So it was a big opportunity, I think, for humanity, and pretty exciting to see the shifts that are happening on a collective level right now.
Yes. First of all, I would like to just thank you for giving us some clarity, some insight, and sharing your amazing perspectives and knowledge in regard to just health, uh, and I would even say wealth, because your health is wealth, and just giving us
Hmm.
some contrast in regard to traditional medicine without and I love it, the delicate, respectful way you put it, because you're not on here bashing traditional medicine, or what I
Hmm.
like to call even uh and from my perspective, Western medicine. But
Hmm.
like you said, there definitely needs to be a shift. And I do see a shift slowly occurring. Maybe not fast enough for my expectation, but the world doesn't revolve around my expectation. But I do,
Yeah.
but I do, excuse me, but I do see a shift where certain doctors are starting to encourage more of a holistic and letting your body naturally heal itself. And
Yeah.
I like that. And I do see uh, the medical profession starting to embrace it. And like I said, probably not fast enough, but uh, still it's happening. And I like what you said, even about eradicating blockages, because that to me is a strong, um, not word, but just modality, because most of what we have going on, that is the root cause of dis-ease, is some type of blockage. And that and we usually in our culture have a pill to throw at it, and it's like, that's not, that to me, in my perspective, is just simply putting a band-aid on it, and allowing you to live with it. But who says that you have to live with it? There's ways to eradicate it, and I do honestly know that we have natural ways of doing that. And I'm so thankful that um and I want to be careful how I put this, because I'm not thankful that you went through um, anything, disheartening and struggles. But I am thankful that through those struggles that you have uh, lived through, that it has led you to where you are now, and given you an even more in-depth knowledge of how to not only heal yourself, but to really dig deep, embody it, and help heal others. That's amazing. I think that is in my perspective, that is the most uh, passionate way that we can help people is through our own uh, struggles, just to put it quite simply. And that's
Mhm.
amazing. Not only is it just something that you just chose to read about, but it's through your own experience that motivated you to uh, to search and seek, you know,
Thank
more.
you.
Yeah. So that's amazing. And I hope I'm not saying too much because you said what you said summed it up, but I just had to commend you on just yes, just healing yourself and wanting having that desire to help other people through your extensive experiences and research. Amazing,
Mm. Thanks so much.
amazing, amazing. So yes, and I'm thankful to hear that you and your son are doing well. And another thing you said that's just amazing. And I'm not quoting it word for word because I don't remember, but you said something along the lines like we're still going through things. We're still growing and evolving and learning and developing. And that's to me,
Yeah.
that is in summary what life is about, anyways. Nature mimics that. Nature
Yeah.
is and nature is considered perfect. So then that means we're perfect in within the so-called imperfections, within the so-called evolving, the changing, the learning, the growth. And through And just to highlight again, and I don't want to sound redundant, but just through those pains, those pain situations that you have encountered, has what has come out of that, came out of that amazingness, you know? So it's just amazing how if we embrace pain in a certain way, if we embrace these adversities we go through in a certain way without giving up and without giving too much focus to them and staying stuck in that place, we can siphon some type of like I said, amazingness from it. You know, I'm not sure if that's
Absolutely.
a word, but it just felt right.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, yes. So, how can anyone find you while we're here to seek your some advice from you, your expertise, your services? Can you share with us some links or a link?
Yeah, I've got my website, which is www.melissacrawford.ca, and people can contact me through there and ask me any questions about working with me or book a discovery call, that kind of thing, or book a session. Um, and I'm on Facebook um, and Instagram and LinkedIn, and it's all under Melissa Crawford, Another Way to Heal. And yeah, I think that's my main links.
Yes, yes, and I love especially your last name, by the way, because it triggers something within me. I'm an avid and this is off topic, but I'm an avid boxing fan, right? And one of my favorite boxers, his last name is Crawford.
Oh,
So yeah, so yeah,
cool.
Terrence Crawford. He's an undefeated boxer and amazing, very intelligent, brilliant boxing. I mean, if anybody's into that, I know it's violent, but I part of my primitive energy
Yeah,
likes watching it, you know. So yeah, they do have some regulations that makes it a little bit civilized, but it's still
yeah,
brutal. It's still brutal, you know. I know that, but
yeah. And
yes,
there can be healthy ways to tune into that like inner warrior, right? I think
right, right, right,
everyone needs to sort of, because we've all got that in us,
absolutely, absolutely.
whether it's
It's
boxing or martial arts or
right,
uh, sacred hunting or whatever it is. There's that part of us needs to be seen and expressed through us. So I'm not against any of those things.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I thank you for clarifying that because, it's not that I'm trying to explain, but just, I not only am I here in my perspective and my intentions are not only to be here to talk, but to lead by example as well. So when I do something, even if I think maybe someone might not necessarily like it, I still give a little bit of in-depth insight as to my perspective on what I'm doing, without trying to hide it and pretend like, oh, in everybody's eyes, I'm quote unquote perfect, So yes, I do
Yeah.
like boxing. I do like the fact that there are regulations, that it can be brutal, but there is structure to it, and it's not just. And I'm not talking about any other forms, but it doesn't give me that energy that these people are here to just kill each other. It's just, yes, unlike
Yeah.
certain other. Uh,
Yeah.
so yeah,
Yeah, I think if we learn to tap into that part of us, it can prevent, a lot of that imbalance that leads to power
right,
hungry
right, right.
war and things like that. So
Yes,
yeah, I think it can
you're
be really
you're
helpful.
a, you are to me, in my perspective, a prime example of turning, of shifting. Um, I'm not sure how to say this, but just shifting any any modality, any situation, any circumstances into a positive. You can find the positive in it, and I think that is a very noble way to be, and it's very empowering. I'm gonna use your word, empowering way to be, because you're living life with the purpose of knowing that everything is for your benefit in some way, you know, and that to me
Exactly.
is
Yeah.
is is amazing, Melissa.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
it's the quote of life's not happening to us, it's happening for
for
us.
us.
Really just always stuck with me.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Amazing, amazing. And I also, and I'm not
Mhm.
going to say anyone else's name right now because this is about you, but I'm going to share with you after I upload. I want to share cross share with another lady that I just amazing woman that I just interviewed prior to you today, and similar frequencies. She was a doctor as well, and
Cool.
amazing. I'm going to share with you guys when I upload both of you. I think I'm going to focus on your two episodes back to back so that I can cross share with one another, because amazing, and it's similar. I
Awesome.
feel like deja vu, having this conversation, but just absolutely amazing. But before we conclude this segment, is there anything that I did not highlight that you would like to highlight? Any words of encouragement? Any saying? Anything that you would like to share? Say before we conclude?
Yeah, I just want to leave people with the message of hope that they can heal from, you know, almost anything if
Right,
that is what their soul is choosing.
right,
Um, and and that healing power is within them. It's not coming from outside of them. So just to remember that, I think, healers need to focus on what they can do to help people remove obstacles to
right,
remembering their own connection to source, creator, God, goddess, all it is. Um, and rather than being that person, like I said, that's doing the healing, our job is to awaken that inner healer within the client, and will help them, guide them in awakening that and reclaiming their power. So, and a lot of times our power is stuck back with that inner child, that inner teen that wasn't able to process something. So that's really like where the magic is. The magic is in the shadow. Our light is stuck back in that shadow place, and we can reclaim it. And it can be it's not easy work to do, but it also doesn't have to be really complicated. And so just want to leave that message of hope for healing, And that's why I like to share our story about overcoming really, really challenging health issues and doing well so that other people can know it's possible for them too.
Absolutely amazing, Melissa. Incredible. Thank
Thank
you again. I appreciate you very much. Thank you for bringing more incredible value to my experience, um, this platform, and those that are tuning in. Appreciate you very much.
Thank you. It was lovely to chat with you.
Yes, yes, yes. And thank you, everyone, for tuning in, for sharing some of your time here with us on Enlightened, Empowered, Evolved. I appreciate you. I appreciate your support. Please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button. Leave comments and share this. Get this incredible dialogue and information out there and help the platform grow as well. I appreciate you. Until next time, love and appreciation to everyone. See you soon. Enlightened, empowered, evolved.